Hi boys and girls, this week's vocabulary lesson is going to focus on the word part tele. Now tele means distant or far, and I'm sure you've heard this word part in a lot of words that you already know. For example, you already know the word telephone. Tele, we know, means distant or far. Now, the word part phone comes from the root word voice or sound. So when you put telephone together, it literally means distant voice or far away sound. And I thought it might be fun to show you some pictures of telephones from years gone by. So take a look at some of these telephones where you would hear sound or hear voices from a distance. And you can kind of see the evolution of the telephone, literally the evolution. And if you look closely at this picture, you can see just how large a cell phone was when it was first invented, and then kind of how mobile phones have evolved over the years. I even found this cool picture of how you can take a cell phone and plug in a retro handset. Kind of neat. Now we're going to look at the word telegraph. Now, tele, as we know, means distant or far. Graph means to write. So a telegraph machine would be distant writing. And they would use a series of codes to tap right here. And the codes, the sound of the tapping, would send a message to someone on the other end. And this would be what you might receive. This is called a telegram. It was basically a written message that was sent through code. I'm sure you've heard of the word telescope. Now, scope means to see. So if you're using a telescope, you are seeing from a far distance. Telescope. And of course, you've heard of a television. So television, we know tele means distant or far, and vision, we know that means to see. So you are seeing something from a distance. And I want to show you some pictures of how the television has evolved over time. And I don't want to date myself, but this picture right here is the television that was in my house when I was a kid. And you can kind of see televisions look like now. You might even have a little more modern version. Maybe you've heard of the word teleport. Tele, we know, means distant or far. Port means to carry. So if you teleport, you are carrying something to a far distance, which we can't teleport yet, but maybe someday. And then last but not least, teleconference. Tele means from a distance, far away, and conference comes from the word confer, or to bring together. So if you take a look at this picture, this gentleman is having a teleconference. He is coming together from a distance. If you take a look at this picture, this looks pretty familiar. This might be a teacher having a teleconference with her class. And before social distancing, you might teleconference like this, having people around the table and then being able to get together from a distance. So let's just remind ourselves of the word part that we learned today, which is tele, meaning distant or far. So the next time you see a word with this part in it, you will understand where that word comes from and understand the root. All right, have a great day, boys and girls.